Yeah, what's good though? You already know who it is though. It's that nigga with a fro. What's poppin', everybody? My name is Twit, and I am your coach for the Grand Canyon Greninjas. Yeah, what's good though? You already know who it is though. It's that nigga with a fro. What's poppin', everybody? Welcome back to our week 5 preparation for the United States Championship League.
Damn, son.
Twit, otherwise known as the UCL. Of course, like I said, my name is Twit, and we are here for this 5th week team prep video. And I want to be 100% honest with you before we move on any further into this team prep video. If you guys follow me on Twitter, if you guys watch the live stream and everything, you guys know that I've had nothing but an absolute ton of issues with my computer this entire week. So to be 100% honest with you, this team prep video, I know of like the last 2 or 3 I've said, hey, these are going to be pretty short, but I know for a fact, I can tell you right now, this is going to be a fairly short team prep video because I have a team put together, but I have not really had a chance to sit down, practice with the team, and go over everything that I would normally go over. So please just bear with me because I've had nothing but computer issues since like last Saturday or last Sunday. So again, I really am sorry for this. Hopefully we're still pull out. I mean, I think we still have a pretty solid team though, regardless. So yeah, so the last week we took on the one and only PK Sparks, and it was an interesting battle. A lot of you guys had mixed opinions about the battle. I personally was not really a fan of the battle, whether it was a win or a loss. I just didn't really like playing like that, but you know, no fault to PK. He did what he did, and he came to win, and he definitely he scooped up the W last week, but it's not that big of a deal. Because we've got some pretty interesting Pokemon to deal with in this next week or whatever versus Patters in the Newcastle Nidokings. Now, funny enough, I have the Nidoking and he has the Nidoqueen on his team, but it's whatever, ain't no big deal. So I'm gonna break down his Pokemon on his team real quick, and then we'll run through these really quickly, and we will go ahead and swap over and do the team building. So first up, he has one of the Pokemon I absolutely hate playing against, and it's Mega Venusaur. The thing is so fat and annoying and just aggravating. It's just, I don't really want to deal with it, but there's not really anything I can do because he does in fact have a Mega Venusaur on his team, so it is what it is. He's got Mega Venusaur, he's bringing a Slowbro, Staraptor, and if you guys have been watching the channel this week, you know Staraptor is like my biggest enemy right now. It's like my #1 nemesis is goddamn Staraptor, man. Fuck that Pokemon, but he's got himself a Staraptor, an Arcanine, Nidoqueen, Haxorus, Scrafty, Sigilift, a Magneton, Miss Magius, Armaldo, and he also had a Lilligant that he traded. I don't remember who he traded it to, but he traded the Lilligant away for a Xatu, Xatu. I'm pretty sure it's Xatu. So he's got a pretty interesting lineup of Pokemon, a lot of annoying Pokemon to be honest with you. Of course, off the top of my head, the three biggest threats that I see on his team: the Mega Venusaur, the Arcanine, and the I was gonna say the 3 biggest threats, but I guess he kind of has 4 to 5 really big threats. Obviously, like I said, the Mega Venusaur, the Staraptor, the Arcanine, the Nidoqueen can be a problem, and the Haxorus and the Scrafty can be a big problem too, but they're pretty easily dealt with. As far as the Slowbro goes, normally I would say Slowbro if it was a Mega Slowbro, but unfortunately, or luckily enough for us, it's not a Mega Slowbro, so we don't really have to worry about that too much. And Slowbro's pretty easy to take care of. He's pretty easy to deal with if you can deal with him correctly, so it is what it is. So that's going to round out his team. Now let's go ahead and scoop up and look over at what we have for our team. Now you guys are going to see on the screen right now, we have 2 different teams. Well, we have a team and a half, and I'll go over the team and a half that we have here in a second. But first up, we have Fuck the Queen, the Altaria here. Of course, we're bringing the Mega Altaria once again. D-Dance, Roost, Return, Earthquake, Impish Nature. So we're going to be having, the reason you guys a lot of times don't really understand the sets or think that like, oh, you're running a pretty shit set or whatever. And you have to take into consideration that in a format like this, you can't just run the regular set. So yes, I do have to run some pretty weird sets from time to time, and I kind of agree that this one is one of those really weird sets, but it's not the end of the world. Impish Nature, we have 248 HP, 136 in defense, 96 in special defense, and 28 in speed. Like I said, we do have the D-Dance and the Roost, which is going to be nice because most of the time the yeah, we don't have Roost. We usually, I've had like Flamethrower, and it's just been really throwing me off. So we're just going straight up with D-Dance, Roost. It is gonna be one of those things once again. Like taking a look at his team, it's gonna be one of those things again where, you know, where I have to really be careful about what Pokemon can burn and what Pokemon cannot. I'm pretty sure the Miss Magius can Will-O-Wisp. I'm not really off the top of my head. Again, like I said, I haven't had a lot of time to prepare for the team, but off the top of my head, I'm pretty sure the Miss Magius and possibly the Lilligant can burn. But I'm not, at the same time, I'm not really too worried about it because he's not sure what I'm going to bring as far as the Altaria is, either, as far as the Altaria goes either, because we have brought both physical and special and split, so we can mix it up pretty much however we want. Next up, we have Empoleon here that we're going to be running Modest Nature. We're going to try something a little bit differently. We're going to try something that I thought about trying a while back with this Empoleon, and you guys will see we actually have a couple different Empoleon, or we have like another Empoleon set that is a really interesting set that I really want to try as well. But we're gonna run a Modest Empoleon. This is the first one that we came up with, was a Modest Empoleon, 12 in HP, 4 in defense, 252 special attack, and 240 in speed with Grass Knot, Scald, Ice Beam, and Agility and Life Orb. So again, this is one of those movesets where it can work out really well for us, or it could really backfire because it's just one of those kind of like, I won't say off the wall sets, but at the same time it is sort of off the wall. So it's kind of one of those things I have to be careful with running this set in particular, but we should be okay. We should honestly be okay. Next up, we have Alakazam. Again, one of those Pokemon that you guys know, I've said it pretty much every single week. I love Alakazam. It's just a clutch Pokemon. It can come in so handy for us so many different ways, and it's really important Pokemon, in my opinion, for us to have. But we're going to be running Psychic, Shadow Ball, Focus Blast, and Thunder Wave on the Alakazam here. And I know a lot of times, most of the time, you know, I'm gonna pull this up as a matter of fact. Most of the time, I complain about having the Psychic over the Psyshock. But taking a look at Venusaur, the Psyshock, with Mega Venusaur as well, or I should say Psyshock, I want to say the Mega Venusaur most of the time is going to be run a little bit more defensive just because it's so bulky as it is. Honestly, it's bulky special defense and physical defense either way. But I feel like the Mega Venusaur, because I know it for a fact that it's his Mega, and he's most likely going to Mega it regardless of what we do. And he's got the Thick Fat as well. I feel like this Psychic is probably a little bit more, a little safer of a choice in this particular situation, just because he could be running a really physically defensive, not expecting me to hit him with a Psychic or a Psyshock, expecting a Psyshock from an Alakazam. So that's just like sort of the thinking behind that. I have contemplated switching that up quite a couple of times, and while this is the team building for this episode, these are not 100% final sets, but for the most part, this is the majority of the team. Just the sets might be swapped around just a little bit. But we're gonna be running Timid Nature, max special attack, max speed, 4 in special defense. It's pretty standard stuff, honestly. It's pretty standard stuff. Magic Guard and Focus Sash on that. Next up, we have Mandibuzz once again, coming back once again. Bold Nature Mandibuzz, Taunt, Foul Play, Roost, and Defog. So the taunt and the taunt Foul Play is gonna be really nice, especially going up against Pokemon, for example, like his Arcanine, like his Staraptor, his Venus. Well, it's not necessarily his Venusaur, but definitely his Haxorus, his Arcanine, his Staraptor. I guess he could run the Nidoqueen physical. I don't really see that happening, but overall, we have a pretty good coverage for that, especially if he wants to bring a D-Dance Scrafty. We're going to foul play the shit out of that, and that's pretty much going to be all she wrote there. 252 in HP, 252 in defense, and 4 in special defense. Pretty, again, somewhat standard stuff. The Roost Defog is going to be important, of course, like always. Then we're going to have lefties on that as well. Next up, we have our Nidoking, and again, this is the rest of my team. Kind of like, at this point, I feel like if I'm hoping that I'm not getting too predictable with my team, because we have basically been running the exact same Pokemon every week, but at the same time, you have to take into consideration the Pokemon that I'm going up against, the teams that I'm going up against versus the Pokemon that I have on my team to choose from. So it may be you might think that, oh, you're just using the same Pokemon over and over, but in reality, I'm really not. Well, I am, but I'm using them because I don't really have much of a choice, if that makes sense. So Anyway, next up we have Nidoking here. EQ, Sludge Bomb, Ice Beam, Rock Slide, Choice Scarf, Sheer Force. We are going to have 92 in attack. We're going to have 244 special attack, 56 in special defense, and 116 in the speed stat here. Nice little mixed Nidoking here, which is going to be pretty nice again. Taking care of the Mega Slowbro as well. Excuse me, not the Mega Slowbro. Taking care of the Lilligant is going to be nice. Taking care of the Armaldo is going to be nice. The Haxorus, the Scrafty. We have pretty much everything figured out for this one. I'm not really too worried about anything. The Nidoking, I mean, it's gonna outspeed because it's Choice Scarf. It's gonna pretty much outspeed everything minus maybe a couple of D-dances on the Scrafty. But Scrafty is like super slow. Maybe the Staraptor. I know that we won't outspeed the Staraptor, and we're most likely not gonna outspeed the Haxorus, but it won't be the end of the world because the Haxorus I'm not really too worried about unless it goes for an EQ. But you know, hopefully we can get around that. We can get around that. Next up, or last up here, we have Configurigus once again. We are running this thing Calm Nature, max HP 12 in defense and 244 in special defense. Willow, Paint Split, Nightshade, and Memento here. Now the what is this thing called? The Configurigus. We kind of had some split sets, some switched up sets quite often. Like we had the Hex. What is it? Hex Toxic Spikes Configurigus a couple weeks ago, or last week, no, 2 weeks ago, and that was pretty nice. It worked out pretty well for us, but at the end of the day, I feel like this is going to be a little bit better of a moveset here, because as much as I'm not really a fan of Memento personally, because we do have to deal with a Mega Venusaur, because we do have to deal with, for example, an Arcanine and a Nidoqueen, who can be fairly bulky and can sort of run house on my team, or really run house on any Pokemon. The Memento will be really nice either way. So this is gonna be pretty nice, and we'll be gonna be able to drop that special attack on the, for example, on the Mega Venusaur. You know, because we don't want to take very many things. I don't know. I'm saying not Mega Venusaur. I'm not really. I mean, I guess, you know what, we're gonna scroll back one sec. We're gonna scroll back one more time, because now that I'm thinking, like I said, I've been kind of out of my head. I've been kind of out of my head lately. So let me just look at it really quick. As a matter of fact, now that since I'm team building, this is sort of part of team building anyway. Attack is 82, special attack is 100, and you know, like for example, like the Sludge Bomb. Yeah, we don't want to take Sludge Bombs to the face over and over and over. And Memento will be nice, especially if it comes down to that last Pokemon that's just running house on my team, whether it's Nidoking the Scarfed, or excuse me, Nidoqueen the Scarfed, and just doing too much damage to me. It's just gonna be really obnoxious. So the couple of sets that we have swapped up here are as follows. So we have a Mandibuzz, we have a Rocky Helmet Mandibuzz, and again, these are alternate sets. I'm not sure which one I want to run just yet, but we have a Rocky Helmet Rocky Helmet Mandibuzz, Impish Nature, 248 HP, 28 attack, 232 defense, with Brave Bird, Foul Play, Roost, and Whirlwind. So the Whirlwind might be really nice for us, especially if he's gonna bring some setup Pokemon. For example, the Haxorus and the the Haxorus and the Staraptor, as well as the what is it, Slowbro can set up as well. The Scrafty can set up D-dances. So it might be really nice to bring a Pokemon that can get rid of those issues beforehand, before they really become a problem. But at the same time, you know, it's just one of those things. Like, we have a pretty decent moveset on the Mandibuzz that we have. It's just really an alternate. It's just an alternate set, just whatever I'm really feeling once I actually go to do the battle. Next up, we have another Empoleon set here. Lefty's Empoleon, Careful Nature, let's see, 224 HP, 32 attack, and 252 special defense. This is going to be a Sub Swords Dance knockoff Waterfall set, which is one of those sets I feel like is really going to catch him off guard if I use it. You know what I mean? It's going to be one of those things where it's just like, I really don't see him expecting the Sub Swords Dance on an Empoleon. And it's just going to be really, really scary after that, just knocking off and waterfalling everything back to back to back. So that could be a really big win condition for me if I can really catch him off guard with the Sub Swords Dance Empoleon. And then next up, we have the last Empoleon set here, which is Life Orb, Defog, Scald, Ice Beam, and Stealth Rock. Modest Nature. See, this is the one that's kind of like, this is the one I'm the most on the fence about, just because it's Life Orb with Stealth Rock and Defog. I mean, while it is really nice and you might think it's defensive or something like that, I just don't want him to just start attacking the this Empoleon, because we know what happened last time we had the Empoleon out, or the last couple times we've had Empoleon out, and he just doesn't really do too much work for us, just because people are like, oh, he's defensive, when we haven't really been as defensive as people expect us to be. So it's just one of those things we have to be careful with here. We have to be careful with. But I'm really favoring the Sub Swords Dance knockoff waterfall careful nature set on the, what is this thing, on the Empoleon here. I mean, he's got a base attack of 86. Actually, I guess yeah, well, it's fine. We have a base attack of 86, which is decent. Special attack obviously is going to be a lot better, but base attack side of 86 is actually really nice. Sub and like maybe a double D dance, or excuse me, a double swords dance or something like that, and just start waterfall and everything back to back. It could be a pretty scary thing, but then again, it's one of those things where it's like I can't sub swords dance agility, which would be nice, because we do have the agility on the other on the other Empoleon right here, agility, Ice Beam, Skull, Grass Knot. So it's one of those things, like I'm weighing options on what I actually want to do. I'm lucky that I have a couple of options in it, but again, like I said earlier in the video, I didn't really have as much time to prepare for this battle, and hopefully that doesn't really show. Hopefully we can still pull out the win and play to the best of our abilities. That you guys watch the video tomorrow for the versus patterns and everything, but hopefully that doesn't show too much that we didn't have a lot of preparation. But there's not much I could do about it. My computer was blue screening for 2 or 3 days out of the week, and it is what it is. So I hope you guys enjoyed this team building episode. Make sure you guys check out tomorrow's UCL battle versus Patterns in the Newcastle Nidokings. So many ends, man. So many T's and so many ends. Oh my goodness. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get up out of here now. Don't forget to smash that like button down below if you guys did enjoy. With that being said, though, it's been Twit, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace!